One of the things we're attempting to do is to bring an awareness to all types of creativity. Part of the grant is, in fact, bring different disciplines together and use the performing arts as a catalyst.
The reason we use the word tool is because we wanted it to feel very workmanlike, and I think it is literally, in the creative process, going into a toolbox and pulling out one of those strategies that might get put in it. So one of those strategies might be a proprioceptive strategy. It might be something to do with priming our visual system better. It might be something to do with working kinesthetically. It might be to do, so it literally is a very manual thing.
I like the idea of a piece that doesn't limit itself, so that in this kind of a situation, all of a sudden you have these kind of communications between different locations. I realized that, you get marooned on your own island of your vocabulary, and basically no matter what you do, you aren't going to get off. So what you can do is just let it all go.
My work on stage is very static, or appears to be very static, but if you look at it closely, it's very Baroque. And sometimes the more still we are, the more aware we become a movement, and sometimes the quieter we are, the way we become more aware of sound. Cage said there's no such thing as silence.
The dancer has been asked to generate internally an image that they then try to keep it in the focus of their attention. It was essential that the dancers then find in their own experience a way of applying these ideas. So really it had to move from the area of theory, it had to move into the body, it had to move into the experience.
I wanted to know what would happen if you power to move through glass, since movement is so invisible. I used to spend some months in the studio and learn the how, and then show them the how. But now I just watch them play.
We weren't really getting anywhere. One of the percussionists said, I've got these simantras, these blocks of wood. It turned out that these pieces of wood were incredibly beautiful because they were resonant, they had all these harmonics, you could hear the precision, and they didn't sound like drums, and they didn't sound like something that you would have an association with. We are in fact using, when you see this little clip, we're actually using, these are actually 2x4s from Home Depot.
A new way of thinking about their own work and understanding how they motivate themselves.
I get more stuff that I wanted to do done that I only think about doing. It just gives me that drive of just do it.
If you look at mathematics historically, it's all about creativity. Everything we know now is because people along the way, mathematicians along the way, were creative and did kind of stretch the bounds of knowledge at that time.
I thought we should start with slime mold. The reason I show this is to say that creativity isn't, first of all, even a human property. And in that way, it's better to get rid of the word creativity and just talk about creation, making things. So, your designs aren't coming out of your head. They're coming out of engagement with the world.
There you go. And why'd you do that? The gestures you make have meaning for you. You're a mnemonic device about something that's important to you. Some things begin to happen. And this was an immediate because he just did that. Whoa. Now, I like to call this, I don't know if it's true or not, I don't know if it's scientific, I call this harvesting intuition. That you are intuitive. Now, the way we're going to make the change is that I'm going to make a shape in relationship to her. Any shape I make is a relationship. So don't worry, don't get cosmic, just make a shape, freeze. Once I've frozen, it's your turn. You relax. And now you move me. 30 seconds at most. Good job.
If I'd studied drama in school, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. It came by chance. I met a 13-year-old African-American boy who didn't read or write, who was going to be institutionalized, who couldn't hear. And I wrote my first play with him. And I learned a lot about how to hear, the way a deaf person hears, how the body hears, how the body sees.
I remember sitting there saying, you made a commitment, you're here, face the fear, and it's going to be okay and you will survive. And so here I am on the other side.
There's a modern version of Aristotle's view that understands that part of us that's distinctively human to be creative activity. And so if this view is right, then it looks like that learning to be a creative thinker is actually an essential part of living a happy and fulfilling life.